Well, thank you everyone who has come to join us this evening, and I'm really excited to be able to introduce Miss Lucia Jimenez Barron. She took some time out of her day to talk to me, and it was really a pleasure to get to know her. She's a mother like I am, and she shared a lot of her experience being a mother with me, and how that has been a benefit to her as or how being part of this business has been a benefit to her as a mother, and that it has given her the time to be able to take care of her children. She actually came to this business about 4 years ago after a really big change in her life, where she had been working for 12 years in the same industry in psychology, and she had done all the right things to get her degrees, and yet she still ended up losing her. And so she ended up finding this through a family member, and it has now given her the ability to be free and to be able to take care of her children while also being able to work from home and to provide for herself and her family. So I'm really excited to learn more from her about how to become financially free, to contribute to society, and to personally develop through this opportunity. So thank you, Lucia, and I'm really excited.
Thank you. Awesome. It was a pleasure meeting you too, Whitney. We had quite a long conversation, and it was very nice. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and mute so I don't disturb.
Okay. So
Okay.
Lucia, tell us about you and what this business is about.
Did you want to put up the presentation, or we're not going to use it?
Oh, yeah, we are going to use it.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
What's your time frame, more or less?
About 30 minutes.
30. All right. Awesome. Thank you for that. Okay, so I'll go ahead and start while Erica puts it together. It's a presentation in the background. My name is Lucia Jimenez. I'm 42 years old. I'm a mother of two kids, a 7-year-old and a 6-year-old. She just turned 6. And I've been married for 16 years. Very, very excited to be here tonight. You know, the reason why I'm in my car, as you can see, I'm in my car simply only because I have the opportunity to do that. I have been in this industry for 4 years. I have known about it, in my 20s, early 20s, but I never really understood it very well, knowing that now it has become a profession. And when I initially started doing this, I was very happy in the sense that I wasn't sure if the opportunity was something that I wanted to do, way back when, because I felt like I was too young. And when this opportunity comes to me, 4 years ago, I knew that I was in the right place at the right time. When it came to me, I was ready for a change. I had been working for in this prestigious university. I had been there for 12 years. At the time that I learned about it, I was there for 10, and they just had a major layoff, really strong layoff, where about 40 people got laid off that day, and all these professionals, everybody had a degree. So I thought to myself, being that I have a Bachelor of Science in Business Marketing, I have a Master's in Business Administration, and I have another Master of Science in Psychology, you think, oh my gosh, she's overqualified, right? I really am. I'm overqualified for anything else, unless, I have been in the industry for a while, and if I stay there. But I'm not planning to go to the workforce industry ever again. So 4 years, 2 years in the making, I do get laid off. So I was preparing myself for this because I knew that what made me so special, what made me so special that wasn't going to happen to me. So being that I had my 3 degrees, I did end up getting laid off, and it was okay. It was okay because 2 years prior to that, I had prepared myself with this industry, which I'm very proud to say that I belong to the socioeconomic networkers. And, I have the privilege of being in my car. I don't have to be stuck in an office, Go ahead, Erica. So some of the things and the transformations that I have committed myself to is something that you don't see in an industry where they don't help you, personally grow. This is done on your own. This is something that you have to do. You have to invest in yourself to be a better person. Being that I'm part of SEN, which is Social Economic Networkers, I have understood that personal growth is really very important. And I have continuously done that. It has not stopped because I think that we learn something new every day. We don't know, I don't know anything every day, and I'm very blessed to say that, thankfully to God, I've been able to do this. And, we also part of social contribution where eventually, that has become something that I've been able to do. For instance, right now, or this past couple of months, I was a head coach for a soccer team. And it's something that if I was working, I would have not been able to do. There's just no way. So maybe not, socially contributing monetarily wise, but contributing my time to people that need me. And I love it. I love it. And of course, obtaining financial freedom. Why not? And it's something that I can tell you that I'm not rich, but I'm getting very close. Just kidding. I'm getting close, but, because I have time and freedom. The transitions that we've experienced through time, have affected the way that money has been made, or is made. As you can see, the agriculture era, that was pretty much the way that we had made that contribution. Our I guess our grandparents or great grandparents, that was a way of living. If you had land, you were pretty much set for some time period. And then comes the Industrial Revolution. We're talking about 100 years ago, where labor laws come into place. People started exchanging more time for money. Nobody was really an entrepreneur. It wasn't something that you really couldn't really do unless you had huge amounts of investments. So, once the Industrial Revolution came into place, and education was a part of that development. And that's why, our parents, my generation says, my parents said, you need to go to school to make it in life. That was really the way of living. And, come the third revolution, which is the internet, we're talking about the internet being available to us really, really, as a market. We're talking about maybe, year 2000. Who would have known? My dad is so funny because my dad says, well, what do you do with your phone? What is that texting thing when it was in? So my mom had just gotten her cell phone, and she says, well, he's like, what's a text message? And she says, well, it's like a telegram, but you receive it right there and then. That's a really good, way to explain it to, now an 80-year-old, because my dad's already 80, thank God. And it was like, it's true. It's a telegram that now you can actually get it at the moment. So nobody asked us for permission for this to happen. Nobody said, hey, Lucia, the internet is going to come into place. This is going to be the way we're going to live. Nobody did that. And that's not going to happen, and it won't happen. Now, the fourth revolution came into place, then it's something that you think, wow, the robots are going to take over our life. Robots are going to be, pretty much they have taken over what you call anything that's really labor. This Thursday we had a meeting, and one of the reps, or one of the associates, she put up a video just of, Walmart making inventory. And she was talking about how inventory replaced maybe over 20 employees. And it's going to happen. It's already happening, where a machine can take inventory by scanning all the items. I think it was like a small period of time, maybe 2 hours, 3 hours, something like that. Even if it does it for 5 hours, that's insane. So she was like, well, aren't you happy about it? She tells a guy, and she says that the guy told her, no, because they're getting rid of 20 of my employees. They're replacing 20 people for a robot. I wouldn't be surprised. It's going to continue to happen, where a lot of the emotional companies are non-existent because of robotics. And you see the ways that are generating income, they have changed and they're going to change. You know, when they asked me these questions and I said, you know, they said, are your family's finances secure? And I said, you know what? I don't know. I don't know if they are, because I'm going to get laid off. And if I leave the company that I've been with and dedicated my soul pretty much to them, they're going to leave, and I'm going to leave, and they can replace me easily for, you know, a lot less. So did I feel secure about it? No, I didn't. And, you know, they asked me if I was able to retire at the age of 60. And I'm asking you, are you able to retire at 60? Because if you depend on Social Security, by the time we get there, they're probably not going to have it anymore. And little questions like that always made me think, you know, what can I do for me to take over that? Is there a chance? Is there a possibility? Is there something out there that I can do and contribute at the same time while I'm with my family, with my parents, my everybody, you know, people that I love and respect? Can I do that? Is there something like that? So go ahead. You know, I was thinking, okay, if you're pretty much looking at how anything that you're wearing right now, including, you know, if you're wearing socks, if not, anything that you're wearing right now, pretty much has to go through that distribution model to your right, to your left. The distribution model consists of 36% is the cost that, you know, in order for them to make the jacket you're wearing, cost them 36%. It's always going to be the same amount. But you have the middleman, which is a wholesaler, warehouse, the store, and promotion. All those four are going to intrude with your pricing, okay? They're going to affect your pricing. So guess what? The consumer doesn't get anything. Now, come the 21st century distribution model, the cost is the same to make whatever it is that you want to make, but if you connect yourself to the company directly, avoiding all the middlemen, then guess what? Your gain, personally, just as a consumer, can be up to 64%. To me, I was like, wow, does that exist? Well, it does. Now, you have two types of income, and this is what captivated my attention, because I knew that I was doing it wrong. This whole time I was doing it wrong. And so linear income is, just think of a line that is just parallel, right? And it doesn't go up, it doesn't go down, it's just there. The retirement that you're looking at could consist from 30 to 40 years. I was under the impression that I was going to get laid off. I was going to retire from where I was working because I had made them so much money. I thought, oh, they're going to keep me for sure, right? I had a fixed schedule. You know, you know, unfortunately, my husband and I had been trying to have babies and we couldn't. And so when we did, and we ended up having our son Mateo, thankfully, thanks to God. You know, when we had it, it was like, when we had him, it was like, I was going to take care of him now. So my way of thinking was completely different from what I planned, what, you know, I had initially planned. So, you know, being that I always wanted to spend time with my children and not being able to do that due to the fact that I was always working, it was really sad. It was really sad. The income, residual income, you think, well, you know what? I could probably be part of this change if I let it happen, right? Pretty much being financially independent, working at 1 to 2 hours daily, and having unlimited income. That's exactly what I was looking for, because I didn't know that it was still something I could do. I studied network marketing a little bit, but it wasn't even close. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so behind. So basically, who am I talking to you about? Why is this so important? And why is this something that you would, you know, look into and let it be part of your life? Well, the company that I, you know, pretty much want to tell you about, go ahead, is For Life Research. For Life Research has been around for 20 years. It is the best in this industry. It is the best company known to have the best compensation plan. And it's funny because it's not funny literally, right? But you know, I thought when I heard about it, it's like, why is this company so important? Why is it so just the environment itself. Why is it captivating my attention so much? And why am I always thinking about it when they told me about it? Well, because it is. It's a genuine company. It has no shares. It's a privately owned company, which to me, that was important. I didn't want to be part of NASDAQ. I didn't want to be part of, any of that because I was already part of it before. David and Bianca Lisenby are the founders of this beautiful company. They built it from making a $40 million investment on patenting transfer factor. A transfer factor is an immune system stimulator that helps your immune system be at a normal stage. People think, okay, what does it do? It's made of colostrum and the egg yolk. So what it does, it puts your immune system at a normal state. For instance, if the immune system's too high, it brings it down. If the immune system's too low, it brings it up. So normally we're supposed to be at 200%. So people say, well, my immune system's really high. And I'm like, don't say that because that's not good. You don't want to have an autoimmune disease that'll attack your body, right? But technically, we're supposed to have it at a normal state. Let me tell you something that I learned too. For instance, when you're sick, the majority of the people recommend, or anybody recommends for you to, consume or eat caldo de pollo, which is chicken soup, or caldo de res, which is beef stew. So if they say, moms or grandmas usually recommend something like that, well, in all reality, a beef stew or caldo de pollo, which is, chicken soup, is, they boost your immune system up to 5%. Our product boosts your immune system up to 437%. Unheard of. 437%. It's like, what is this made of, right? So, and you also have products for people that have autoimmune diseases that will help you too to bring it down, right? So imagine how many caldos de pollo you have to eat in order to meet that level. You will probably get really tired of chicken soup. We also have Danny Lee. He's also the best known CEO in the industry, youngest CEO in the industry. He's done so much for a company the little time that he's been within the company as a CEO. And he was there prior to becoming a CEO, but something that I'm very grateful to say that they're just awesome and very humble people. Go ahead. So our products, we have a lot of products that will definitely, whatever you need. We have the essential oils. We have $5 billion industries that are already there in the company. You don't have to, if you want something for weight loss, we're there. If you're something for beauty, we're there. If you need essential oils, we're there. If you need creams, we're there. Anything immune system, of course, that's our main target. So $5 billion industry, not, $1 million industries. I'm talking about $1 billion industries that have taken over the market like you have no idea. And it's all within our company. So anything that you need, you'll have. Okay. So how do we generate income quickly? This company is fast. It says you join, you buy, you consume, you start getting paid. And if you bring people within the company, you start getting paid as well. It's like, how does that work? Anything that you buy, the company says, if you join the company, anything that you buy over 100 points, the company will pay you 25% back the next day in the United States. The next day, it's unheard of. A lot of, network marketing companies don't do that. We have the rapid reward system where you get paid right away if you buy anything that's over 25%. Over 100 points, they buy you 25% in your pocket. So I love it. It's something that I totally love. So you have the option of being part of this where you don't get a discount. You get it. You do get a discount, but in a different way. What I'm saying is that a lot of the discounts that you get usually go into your pocket. For instance, if you start the company, you say, you know what, I want to be a new associate of this company. You can buy builder packs. You can save from $140, down to $70 at the time that you buy your first package. You select your products, whatever you want, you'll always be able to save on an instant. So it's, the product is you think, well, if it's 100 points, what is that, like 100 products? No. Just alone, the Rio Vida, which is the two, containers right there in the bottom, just those two alone is 50 points. So, because they come together. 50 points, that's attainable. Anybody could do it. It's attainable. 100 points is nothing. So the company says, all right, so if you and other people who want to be part of this mega, trend, this mega this industry, why don't you invite people who want to make this change too and do exactly the same thing that you're doing, no matter what level you get? It's like, okay, well, how can I do that? So you're at the top, you do 100 points, and those 3 people do exactly the same thing that you do. Connecting yourself to being loyal to the company, making your purchase for you, your family, your loved ones. Every single month, the company's going to pay you $50 just for doing that. So those 3 people say, hey, you know what? I have 3 people too. I want to do what you're doing. I want those $50 too. So if they do 3 people, those 3 people are going to get the benefit too. The ones below you and the ones below them are also going to get benefits too if they do exactly the same thing you do. You can get up to $50, you can get up to $200, you can get up to $800. It's amazing. And you're doing exactly the same thing. So being that you're working, really hard for the company, as you can see, this is a Caribbean cruise where you win trips, for making ranking within the company. For instance, the Great Escape. The Great Escape, as you can see, a lot of people are there super happy. Why? Because this trip was paid for 100%. And then they say you can bring someone with you, or you can bring your spouse, wherever you want, So, want you and one person. It could be a son, it could be a daughter, it could be your best friend, it could be your sister, it could be your cousin, it could be whoever you want. Bring them. Everything's paid for from the time you leave your house to the time you get home. So it's like amazing. Great Escape, here we come. Okay, so how do we generate income? How do we get, residual income in our pockets? There's 4 kinds of people that get paid this way. A singer, okay, I'm not a good singer. Well, I kind of am, but not really. To do a singer who records their, song like Michael Jackson one time and one time only, but every time you play Thriller in YouTube, the Jacksons get money in their pocket because, he left that legacy to their children, right? So an author, J.K. Rowling, she's a billionaire, I think. Harry Potter, she was homeless, and, she's an author, and every time her movies, her toys, her costumes, which is coming up now, anything that has to do with Harry Potter, she gets paid. So an author gets paid very well, an inventor, and a network marketer like us. So what did they do? They left a legacy. They did this one time and one time only, where they get residual bonuses every time. For instance, if you tell 6 people within our company about this opportunity, they consume, let's say, 250 points, give and take. Now the company will say, I'm going to pay you 2%. 2% of over 100 points and your surplus. So let's say we just give you $30 just for having those people. So if I said, Lucia, Erica, or Whitney, or whoever's joining us, Damaso, thank you for joining us. You say, you know what? I'm going to give $30 in your mailbox every 15th of the month. Will you go and get them? Of course you will. Why not, right? So the 6 people do exactly this, tell the 6 other people to do exactly the same thing that you're doing. And those 36 people tell other 6 people to do exactly the same thing that you're doing. Nothing changes. Everything is exactly the same. And those 216 say, I want to know too. So guess what? Those 216 people are going to tell 1,296 other people, which is equivalent to, 1296. They're doing exactly the same thing. But guess what? The company is going to pay you, if you see your right side, $21,384 plus $4,968 plus $1,170 plus $30. It's doable. It's definitely doable. So there's people that I know and that I've met and that I've talked to. I've been doing this for 4 years, that this has happened to them. There's people that are, Club 100,000. When they tell you they're Club 100,000, if I was Club $60,000, it's like, that's awesome, Just even the first two levels is enough to cover a mortgage, which in 2009, 2006, there was a major defaulted on homes. It was, really, really bad. And you think, you know what? How sad, people pretty much went homeless when this happened because they couldn't pay their mortgage anymore. But it could have, those $1,200, could have definitely saved a home. But, people that live in Mexico, I live in the border. So Mexico is really, really close to me. And people that are making that amount of money a month. This isn't a year. This is a month. Okay? All right. So when I started doing this, a lot of people would tell me, me, myself, was like, okay, so I have 3 degrees. So I probably know it all, right? No, I don't. I don't. I'm really, really far from, I didn't know anything about network marketing. I didn't understand it. So I said, if in order for me to understand it, I have to read. So there's a guide that helps you understand the educational system that we have. We have books, audios, videos. Our SEND team, which is social economic networkers, where you can actually go on YouTube and, Google somebody's name or, YouTube somebody's name and you'll find people that have talked to you about, for life research that, I'm a psychology major, so research is my last name. When I looked into it, I had never seen anything negative about for life. Nothing, absolutely nothing to this day. And I don't look for it anymore because I know where I stand. But this is awesome. Know that you're not alone, which that's something that I totally adore. So when you want to start this business, being part of this franchise, it technically is a franchise. Your investment is not buying a building and making burgers. Your investment is your health. If you want to be a consumer, you can definitely be a consumer and just enjoy the products, love them, adore them, and just consume them. But most of the times, us human beings don't do that. When you're feeling good, you're going to tell people. And if people are going to ask you, hey, what are you doing? You look good. Or why are you so happy all the time? What's going on, And, if you want to be just a consumer, then that's awesome. Then if you do say, well, you know what? I want to become a distributor. That's great too. You can sell products to the people that you love. I am both. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a distributor. I'm a consumer. I do all of them. My kids pretty much do the same thing. My kids have been consuming since, my son was 2.5, my daughter was 1.5. So they understand and they know for life now. They're like, oh, we're in a family gathering. And I told them, you know what, I'll just be in the car. I'll be there in a little bit. Don't worry, dad's with you or what have you. But it's okay. I can do that because I love this business. You can get away with that. And people probably around you think you're crazy, but it's okay. I don't mind it at all. So, the question that they asked me, Lucia, if you had time and money at this time when they told me about it in 2004, May 2nd, 2004, what would you do? And I said, if I had time, because I know I needed time, but, money I had because I was always working. Of course, I just had money. Come on, but I didn't have time to go on vacation. I didn't have time to enjoy my family. I didn't have any of that. And so he says, if you had those two, what would you do? And I'm thinking, what would I do? I don't know. I would go to Disneyland for a week and enjoy it. And having to come back to work and be all stressed because, whatever happened because I was gone and there's no another Lucia in the campus. And he says, and what if you had health? Then I said, you know what? I want all three. I want to be greedy and I want all three. And thankfully, thank to God, I'm still here and I'm doing this and I love it. I get emotional because I feel that this is something God sent to me and my family. And there are no limits. That's the best part about it, So if you're here for a reason. And I want to tell you, welcome to the Social Economic Networkers team. We're here to help you. Whatever questions you have, if you have any questions now, I'll be more than happy to answer your questions.
Thank you so much, Lucia, for such a beautiful story and impactful business opportunity that we have here. It's I feel honored to hear you. So thank you
Oh,
so much.
you're,
I also want to
thank
thank
you.
Whitney for such a beautiful introduction. Whitney is a new leader in the project and she is taking on leadership activities. So I also want to thank Whitney. And for everybody who is here, I want you to know that the person who invited you or the person who shared the link with you is going to give you more information because what you heard today is only 10% of the business. There is way more than this. And ask questions. Ask questions because the person who invited you knows what we are doing and they will be able to guide you. Ask them, how do I sign up? How can I have my own business? How can I be an entrepreneur? Because here you have the tools to financial freedom. So now we can have some questions for you, Lucia, if you are okay with that.
Sure,
Someone wrote in the chat. Oh, okay. Awesome. I have a question for you. What were the main challenges that you had when you started this project?
you know, the main challenge for me was having to, you know, a lot of people would tell me, why are you doing this? You have all these degrees and you work so hard for them. And it wasn't even about living that kind of life. I wanted to live a different lifestyle. I wanted to be able to be in charge of my own time. I don't want anybody to tell me what time to clock in, clock out. I was just so tired of that. But my main challenge was understanding, you know, the reality, or understanding that there was a possibility to do something like this, because I was so skeptical. You know, there was just that small percentage in my brain that said, well, what if it doesn't work, or what if it doesn't do it? And I just shut it off and I said, you know what, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. That's it. It just didn't happen. But if I don't try, how am I going to know that it didn't happen? So one of my biggest challenges was that.
Yeah, that's so true that we have, and I've had this too, that many people say, well, this doesn't work. But how do you know if you won't ever try? The key to success is taking the first step. Thank you for sharing that. I don't know if Whitney or anybody else has any other questions.
Um, Lucy, I'm curious to know about how long before you began to achieve the same, let's say, the same amount of money that you were making from your previous job uh, to working as a network marketer.
You know, I think for me, it was probably about, I would say maybe 6 months. The time that I was investing in for life to the time that I was investing in my job, like making proper calculations, it was about a 6 month time frame. And I was doing it really, really part time. I mean, it was like um, I was working, and during lunch hours, I would, you know, do a presentation, and then after work, and then I would go home. And then, you know, some, you know, Zoom came into place, so then that made it easier, but it wasn't during the time I was working because I just started doing Zoom like maybe a year ago. But I think mostly was around that time, because the time that I was investing in for life was very small. And then when I started seeing that change, when I really started seeing more money coming in, the little effort that I was making after I got laid off, I was like, oh my gosh, I could actually do this more faster. So that's when I took off 2 years after, you know, I was in the company. But let me just clarify something. I was always willing to teach myself, to do a lot of self-help, because you just have to do that. If you don't do that, you're going to get lost. And trying to understand the company to its, you know, to the max is, it's not worth your time. It's really emotionally draining more than anything, or even understanding transfer factor, how it works completely. But, you know, I love what I do. I still do. I will not trade it for anything else in the world. Nothing.
Another question I have is, what has your experience been consuming the For Life products?
Wow. Well, aside from having and seeing a lot of testimonials from other people, my children and myself, I don't know why, but I think that's, something that I gave my kids where our allergies are really, really bad. And, the allergies trigger to a cough, and then the cough triggers to pneumonia, and so on and so forth. And my kids were under albuterol. We used to take albuterol, Palmercourt, always doing the nebulizer. And I used to do, take allergy medication. My septum is deviated. I have a deviated septum. And it was always something that I knew that I had to take. I wouldn't take allergy pills all the time, but I started seeing the change in the product with my allergies. Um, I'm a very emotional person. There's also emotional products. There's so many things. I could just sit down and be like, Whitney, you know what? Let me tell you what this product does for you and what this other product does for you. There's so many things, but I love all of them. I haven't consumed all the products. I'll be honest with you. I consumed the ones that I feel that I need, but they're just great. I will, I put something in Facebook one time and I said, I'm not going to give my kids any medication, yada, yada. And then some of my friends like, you would never give your kid medication? And I said, not every day, like they used to do, like the butyral Pulmicort, something like that. No, I mean, I respect medicine. Of course I do. We're in the PDR. Why not? But to do it on a daily basis, no. No, there's other options, and thankfully we know one really well.
It's so exciting to see that there is a real alternative that is both natural and affordable for people, and that we get to share that with people and recommend that to people. That we can see real transformation in people's health and be able to see that for ourselves as well.
Yeah. Do we have any other questions from other participants? Or any comments? If not, we are going to end the presentation. I want to thank Lucia one more time for the time that you took to be here, for sharing such a powerful story. We don't have many people, or I don't know many people in the project who have gone through such a long academic training and who are doing this project, network marketing, that is a business of the 21st century. So I want to thank you for sharing your wisdom with us and for sharing your time. And also, Whitney, thank you for the introduction, for the questions, and for being with us. Thank you, everybody, for being here. And also, as a reminder, ask the person who invited you or who sent you the link to ask to give you more information. They know how these businesses work, and they will be able to walk you through. We have a system and we have a team. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Erica. Thank you, Whitney.
Thank you.